the city of Dallas for the most part. And I mean, in terms of the people and whatever. And yeah, I've been here all of my life. I was born here. I was raised here. I went to high school here. I went to college here, my first one anyway. And so I have very deep roots here. And so I've said many times, I'm not happy living here. Yet I continue to stay because it's easier for me to stay than it is to go. Now, if I were to leave, I would have to leave my mom, who lives here, and we're very close in Dallas. She lives here in the city, I mean, and I would have to I would lose all of my friends. My entire family is here. My businesses are all here. All three of my businesses are here, based here. And my businesses are kind of specific to Dallas because, architecture, interior design, real estate are all sort of locally. I mean, I could take those businesses elsewhere, but I'd essentially be starting all over. I wouldn't have my base anymore of clients anymore and referrals, et cetera, locally. And so to move away would mean all that stuff, selling my house, which I'm in the middle of remodeling and actually adding on to and everything else. And so it's not like it's something that would be easy. But could I do it? Yes. Could I go? Yes. So is it my fault that I'm not happy living here? Yes. It's my fucking fault that I am not happy living here in Texas. And so I think that, it's important for people to realize that really the power lies within you. You have the power to change your life, whatever it is. If your life is if you're unhappy in your life or some aspect of your life or unhappy with yourself, then it's absolutely, imperative that you yourself take action and change it if that's what you want to do. I've come to the conclusion and I've decided that I am content enough here with my life that I can stay and not be completely miserable. The things that make me miserable here generally are the people, not necessarily the place itself, and the the bigotry and the Republicans and the right-wing idiocy and everything else. So that's rules of the state that I live in. And so that's something that I can contend with, and I have all of my entire 38 years of life. So if I've done it this long, I'm sure I'm not going to get the fuck up and go now. I'm certainly going to stay. So it is my choice and my decision to be happy. But there is a list of 30 ways that can actually yeah, Chris, help you be happier and ways to kind of live your life to the fullest instead of actually depending upon everybody else. And I think one of the main ways, is to remember not to rely on external things or people or influences for your happiness. So if you need money to be happy, or you need someone else's love to be happy, or you need, when I say that, I mean romantic love, or if you need a certain kind of car, or live in a certain neighborhood, or a certain kind of house, or a certain thing, or whatever, to be happy, then you're really not going to ever be happy, because no matter what it is, you can only be happy if you're happy with yourself or where you are. And so the behaviors that you can actually take to achieve that, one of the things you can do, number one, is to act more like a kid and actually take time to somewhat be silly. A lot of us are so fucking serious all the time and so boring because all we do is worry about bills and paying the mortgage and our job or career or whatever, and mundane things in our life, and not really focus on the things that make us happy and the fun, and just being silly and hanging out with friends and being stupid, I mean, get some fucking wine or some get some alcohol, and get with some friends and just have fun and just play games or something. Like, I love to play board games. Like, it's my favorite thing in the world to do. I love to play board games. Like, I love to play Monopoly, which, by the way, I never ever get beat on. It's bizarre. No one ever beats me at Monopoly. I always win, always. And everybody hates to play with me because I always win. Anyway, so Monopoly, Pictionary, I just playing like party games like charades, whatever. I love to play games like that. And so it's so much fucking fun, and it brings people together, and you have a good time, you're laughing or whatever, as long as you don't get someone who's like completely overly competitive, then that kind of ruins it. But so I love to do that stuff, and I think just acting like a kid in that way is important. And going and just getting ice cream just because you want ice cream, or cotton candy, or just going to play at the golf course, or like the mini putt putt or something like that, or I mean, it could be whatever you think of, or riding a bike down the road, or around the river, or around the lake, or something. I mean, these are things that are easy to do, and it will amaze you how much it makes you feel happier when you actually take the time to just act silly and be more like a kid. So I think it's important. Let's see what you're saying in the chat room here. Spades. Oh yes. Hey David, I play spades. I am a spades champion. Champion. Okay. I am a spades champion. I've been playing spades since I was a kid, and I love it. And I love playing spades. And actually, when I was a little kid, my grandmother taught me how to play dominoes, and she taught me how to play 42, which is an old person's game. But anyway, and so I used to play that with her as well. I was really good at that. I was really good at spades, bridge. I love playing bridge. I love playing spades, gin rummy, hearts, all that kind of stuff. I love all that kind of stuff. So it's really, it's so whenever as an adult, like my dad was that way. I know when I was a kid, he was like in his 30s, I guess, when I was going to his house and have to visit him and stuff. And we would always play games. Every weekend I'd be over there, every other weekend, whatever, for a while when I went to see him. And he would always have his friends over, and they'd play board games and stuff like that. And sometimes I could play, sometimes I couldn't. But and they would just have a good time, And that's how I've been. And so I definitely got that from my dad. This sense of joy and fun with games and stuff like that. He was the same way. So anyway, that's number one. Number two is just sort of being still and looking and reflecting on your life and taking time out to just have quiet time. It would be amazing if you could just realize how much of a difference it makes in your day if you literally just go sit down in your favorite spot in your house or wherever, or it could be on a park or a lake or whatever, something that makes you feel comfortable and calm, and just sit there and meditate. And it doesn't have to be a religious experience, but when I say meditate, I just mean sit there with your own thoughts, without music, without any interruptions, without the television on, without the phone, with the cell phone turned off, no technology, just literally sitting there for 10 minutes, even if it's just 10 minutes, with your thoughts. And it may feel really stupid. It may feel really weird and uncomfortable, and it probably will at first when you first try it. But there's this great app. And by the way, there is my friend David has a show called 5x5 today. He was talking about apps. And I was too busy playing with the karaoke app he told us about to participate in the conversation. But there was an app that I have, and it's called, where is it? Where the hell is it? That actually is perfect for this, to being still and meditating once a day. And if I can freaking find it, I need to meditate apparently. Oh, here it is. It's called GPS for the Soul. It's free. And you can download it on the App Store if you have an iPhone, and it may be on other ones as well. But it's called GPS for the Soul. And what it has on it has two things on it. One thing it has is a sensor. And the sensor actually takes your pulse and your heart rate, okay? So when you start, and they have these things called guides, and each guide actually takes you through a 3-minute, 5-minute, 10-minute, whatever you want, length of time you have in your day, meditation or time out just to be still and kind of relax. And when you start it, you take your pulse or your heart rate, and when you're done with it, you take it again, and it literally shows you how your pulse or heart rate can drop from 10 points or more just by doing it for 3 minutes. And it really does work. And it plays a little music, like soothing music or whatever. So it's really cool. And it reminds you every day to do it. So check it out if you want. It's called GPS for the Soul. And I know this may sound stupid, and a lot of people are not going to do anything about it. They're not going to ever do it, whatever. But it does work when you sit down and with your thoughts just for a few minutes, even if it's 3 minutes a day, and just sit there with yourself. And you'll begin to realize how much noise, extraneous noise there is out there, really interfering with what you think and how you kind of become more centered with yourself. And of course, this is very sort of Buddhist Zen type stuff, I guess, but it's not a religious thing at all. And a lot of times people who are religious will be opposed to meditating because they think it's a religious thing. It makes you a Buddhist or something. And meditation has nothing to do with religion. It was around before religion existed. So it is not something that you have to feel it's religious, although it can be a religious type of experience to some degree. It's just something that's going to help you feel better about yourself. So anyway, I'm going to take a break, come back, and we're going to talk about number 3 through 5, and we'll be right back. There we go. Sorry. Why, Holly? You don't like the song? What's wrong with it? I love that song. Um, I love that song. Matisse. It's by Matisse. It's called Boom Boom Ba. Matisse. It's a great song. Very relaxing. That's why I played it. Uh, and what was I gonna say? Um, 5x5 asked me something. Oh, that's what you asked me. Yeah, that was Matisse. So anyway, next of the 30 ways to improve your life is to find your inner optimist. A lot of people are very pessimistic about life, and they are actually completely just see everything as half full instead of, half empty. I mean, instead of half full. And I think, you don't have to be like lollipops and roses all the time and always look at everything completely